It is time to stream. I do not stream enough, and thus I mustered stream. I've mustered up the courage to stream today. I hope you can support me in this endeavor. I don't want this week to be happening. Just in general. Well, I guess not in general. At work, I've like no desire for this week at work, and I didn't really have too much of a good weekend, if I'm being so frank. So the fact that I get to the week and instead of taking it easy, job comes back and is like, hey, dog. I feel like I say that kind of stuff a good amount, but this week in particular, it's like, oh my goodness. Oh no. But, well, I say but it's more like on top of that, I gotta really work hard at my, at comic. So, that's more, I mean, that is definitely more reason to try and be streaming this particular week, is I need to sit down and focus on comic as opposed to getting worn out and playing games. So we should probably do that. Don't. Man, Field of Hope is a Dream is so good. I require it playing always. I say that, you know, recognizing the fact. I'm also trying to see if there's a way I can get next track to play faster in this. I don't think so, honestly, but I turned down video quality on this because here's the thing, I just need the audio. I don't know if that'll affect that. I guess someone coming in can tell me if it does, but I don't need album image to be super crispy. I just need audio noise to be, you know, to be, was thinking of, to be pretty. So that's enough for me. I really wish. There's like a little thing above the chat window, which I don't like on Twitch's dashboard, but I don't know. I think that might just come with the chat window. I don't know if there's too much I can do about it. So. But yeah, long week, well, long weekend actually. Captain, it's Monday. Long weekend. Yeah, mostly because I was just running around doing family plans, and not all of them were hyper pleasant. I will be real with you. So I was thinking of, so I wasn't excited to get into the week, and here we are in the week now. So time does march forward regardless of what I have to say about it, unfortunately. But yeah, I've also been working really hard behind the scenes on, I mean, I've been doing that for a while now. Like the past 2 months has been like purely me being like, I'm not posting anything, I'm just working on stuff, BTS, to make something good, like something big and good eventually. I got done a fantasy map for a book I'm working on today, which, you know, kind of seems ancillary, but truly, I don't know, it's weird, because, I remember, I forget who I heard talking about this, but they were talking about how, like, you know, famously J.R.R. Tolkien made up entire languages for his books. But he did that not because it's like that's how you write a good fantasy book. He did it because like he was a professor of language. Like he knew lots about language, and he applied that to making kind of like his own set in a fantastical place. I don't know if I particularly have a thing like that. For me, I feel like to some degree my version of that is kind of a jack of all trades sort of deal. If I'm being honest, I think in particular I like do it like I said, maps and grounding something in sort of a real location. That's always been something with me in games too. Like I much prefer a game that feels like it's taking place in a like physical locale rather than a just like set of Mario levels. Basically, even Mario has maps sometimes, which is nice. I like those games more. So like that's one reason I was working on a map before much of the actual book, because if I'm gonna have people like traveling through locations and stuff, I just kind of I want to be able to like see it's like, okay, I'm having them pass this, they're going this way. It's not even like a super detailed map or anything like that, you know. It's very kind of roughly illustrated and what have you, but it gets the major it gets like a lot of the shape and major parts of the world across, which is definitely what I need. And then just trying to also give it a scale too, so but yeah, there's that. I also saw the Odyssey this week with Deja. When did I see that? I saw that on Saturday. It's a weekend. See that? That's literally, that's how you know my weekend was not great. I'm referring to it as the week, as though as though like there's a break besides that coming up. Yeah, I saw the Odyssey with Deja. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I'm gonna be so honest, and like maybe to some degree I need to like look and read deeper, but like so many reviews I've seen of it so far are like someone either being like wildly good film, like a masterclass, I'd like who could ask for more, or like this is garbage from a can. None of them necessarily elaborating. I'm like, yeah, maybe I could look for more detail, you know, oriented reviews talking about what they liked and disliked about the movie. But I liked it. A lot of it was practical, which I think was great. There was one review I was sitting down and watching literally today, and I feel like it's not really spoilers, very, very small stuff. Well, I guess kind of big stuff, but nothing to do with plot or what happens. But like, they don't really show the Greek gods at all in this, and I was like, well, that's not too much a problem. I did realize that means there's no bag of winds, which I was like, oops. Didn't realize that for a bit, and I was like, oh yeah, that is supposed to be there. Shows how familiar I am. But, and like the person was criticizing it because it's like they do got monsters and stuff like that we see run around, and they're, you know, witches, yada yada yada. So what's the problem with like having like Zeus come out? And I do get that kind of criticism, especially because like I've never been like, obviously I always forget. Is it just the Dark Knight? The Dark Knight 2008. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the Dark Knight, like, I mean, obviously I like that film, but like I was never too wild on a lot of Nolan's Batmans, specifically because to some degree it almost felt like he didn't want to make a Batman movie. Like he'd prefer it be far like grounded rather than, you know, Batman. Batman is not a, he's a superhero without power, sure, but if anything, that makes him a less grounded idea. So like, you know, for the most part, a lot of those films, I'm like, I don't really know if this is like the best a Batman could be. So like, I'd be the first to be like, yeah, you know what? He needs to not be afraid to do fantastical mumbo jumbo in this. But I don't think that was the point of not really showing the gods. Because like there are literally points of the movie where someone mentions Zeus and then like lightning strikes like around them on top of other details. So I think the purpose is to just be like make their presence known without literally having them come down all the time and mess with the plot. And I think that's an okay way to do it. Is maybe, I mean, I don't know, it's already, and that's the other thing, right? It's like, should I say, well, you should have included blank? Because it's already like a 3-hour movie, so. That was the other thing. After watching that, I was like, you know, it occurs to me, this movie doesn't have to be like a 2 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. It can be like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Be like, hey, this was pretty good, all things considered. Maybe not perfect, but you know, if you want a fantasy epic, go check it out. That kind of stuff. No. I realized that after watching a review, I was like, you know what? There's every chance in the world this doesn't actually have to be the movie of all time. So, I feel like many people aren't considering that, but yeah. I do think it was just good filmmaking. On top of some legitimately pretty neat shots. Like, a lot of it was practical. Like I said, you know, obviously you got your Greek mythological monsters and what have you that you'd expect in the Odyssey. And those are mostly CGI. I can't remember any that were. There were some actually, like, you know, magic-y practical effects, which was neat. But outside of like specifically the monsters, like most of the movie was practical. And I think that's worth a round of applause just because it was like, oh hey, look at like, oh hey, look, someone made a movie. Like an actual, like a movie. Y'all remember movies? Not to be old man yells at cloud, because like I grew up when CGI was hitting it big, but like, that's what I'm saying, you know? It's like, oh my gosh, they didn't pay 10 interns $3 an hour to make a bunch of CGI footage so they could make millions. They did sets. They filmed on site. Crazy talk there. Now's your chance to be a big shot. Be a big shot. Now's your big shot. Be a big shot. Talking about classic Hollywood, and this song isn't necessarily about Hollywood, but you can kind of interpret it that way. Spampton was a star, so answer the phone. I can't explain until you're all alone. takes strings and makes them ring until your heart gets ripped up. But yeah, so like unironically, if maybe you're okay with the occasional gross thing happening, which honestly, the gross stuff isn't even like blood and guts and stuff. That part's actually pretty tame, all things considered. Like I said, there's some just spooky magical stuff, which to some degree is like, yeah, that's the Odyssey. They go somewhere, something horrifying happens, they leave. Eventually, Odysseus is alone, because he's the only, because most of his crew were dumbasses. So it's like, if you were expecting something else, then, but yeah, if you would like a fantasy epic that's low on the CGI, heavy on the dramatic dialogue a bit, then go for it. There is also, I don't know how much of a like serious criticism this is from some people. There was also the whole like, you know, it's ancient Greek, but Matt Damon's doing his Matt Damon voice, and that honestly, to me, a lot of it didn't intrude in the movie itself. I can see a very valid point of being like, hey, maybe you should have gotten at least a few. Maybe not everyone had to be like an A to B list celebrity on this cast, and maybe you could have gotten a few actually Greek people up in here. I think that's fair. Matt Damon is, I'd say, pretty good. I don't know. That's also like, that's a bad place for me to talk about, because like I'm bad with, like, Matt Damon is one of few celebrities I know. Like, just in general, I do not like keeping up with celebrities. So if you're just like, ugh, I can't believe they had to pay whoever the heck to be random Greek soldier. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was like a star. I thought that was a random Greek soldier. So honestly, I will say that's, and I'm talking about cons because, like, without getting into spoilers, like, the movie was pretty good. So that's why I'm talking cons right now. There is also the whole costume thing, which honestly, I can, of like criticisms that are talking about the dressings of the movie without necessarily getting into like the actual like writing, shooting, pacing stuff of it. And I thought it was paced pretty well, considering it's like 2.5 hours, something like that. But anyway, costume is one of the costume stuff is one of the things where I could be like, yeah, they messed up with that. Just because, unless I am misinformed, I'm sure someone on the internet 20 years from now will correct me. They did have like someone who specializes in accurate ancient Greek armor doing costumes in like the early phases of the movie, and they're like, no, we don't like that actually, and then they just went with whatever. And like, yeah. I mean, you could have kind of got, you know, you could have maybe done something with that. Also, it is like, I mean, it's Christopher Nolan, so if you were expecting the movie not to look like it had a dark filter over it, then I'm so sorry to tell you. I'm sorry, little one, but You can get past that. That's a technical aspect, but that's just me not being a big Nolan guy, so. I'm sure there's plenty of people who would be like, oh heck yes! I can tell it's him because of the way it is! So. That's me, though. I would love... There's like... Because I think it happened last stream, or maybe the stream before that. One of the last two streams I did last week. Well, the other week. Like, you know, Juice pops in call and then doesn't say anything. They're just sitting and watching. And... Like... And like, I wonder if they would do that if it's literally just me in here. Or if it specifically has to be me talking with a mutual friend. And they're like, yes, let me get in on this. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Yeah, if I can get this comic done on stream, later in August, I'm dog sitting again. And dog sitting means I don't have my PC on me. So, if I can get this comic done on stream this week, and then an extra comic done early in the weekend, and then basically repeat that next week, then I'll be in pretty good sitting, because I definitely don't want to skip any more weeks of the comic. Stealth was literally yelling, like when I was talking about other plans. Stealth, as nicely as anyone possibly could, would be like, dude, make your comic. So, I was gonna make him sound angrier, but here's the thing: he didn't. I know it. I know what an angry Stealth sounds like, which was not that. Maybe slightly frustrated for me on my own behalf. So. Lord, I should see if Frank, like, maybe that's what one of the things, because I was saying to someone earlier, when I was thinking about, for many reasons, I have come to the conclusion, it's like, oh, I know what to ask for, like, my birthday and Christmas, I just want DVDs. I don't know, let me see. Guillermo del Toro. Frankenstein Blu-ray. Is that a thing they are selling? Is up on pre-order. October 27th, 2026. So it's kind of like a little limited release thing. It says Criterion Collection. So that might be something I ask for Christmas if I can confidently track down a place for my family to grab it. Burn up your bed for burning fire. I love Rousey. Rousey brings me such joy. I've been saying this lately. I do just prefer vanilla Raise Up Your Bat. It's kind of comedic in the opposite direction, in that Rousey like overly censors it into something nonsensical and fluffy, whereas vanilla Raise Up Your Bat is like comically edgy, but I still just kind of like it better. Sorry, Rousey. Maybe part of it is the fact that, like, I feel like it fits the chorus better, which he does keep the same. The follow me into the dark part. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Yeah. Also, you know, I think it was in June or May at this point. Roughly a little over 2 months ago at this point. Basically just before I did my little hiatus to make stuff behind the scenes. I did the charity stream, and we hit 2 goals for me to make a video. I'm going to be, I want to say I'm going to be attempting recording them this week, but here's the thing, is that I'm definitely going to get at least one of them, if not both of them, fully recorded this week. So then edit it and hopefully up by the end of August. Or September. One of those months that exist. I'll do it in September. I have no love of Augustus. Could you say that in Rome? I guess for the most part. A lot of those guys were kind of mad with power, so like probably not. Lord, you know, I think about how much, you know, to me, a lot of like high power positions just seem miserable. I kind of feel like a Roman emperor is to some degree like the perfect example of that. Like, yeah, Rome's not a thing anymore, and like yada, like that was thousands of years ago, but like still it was like lots of people vied for that, and we're just like, I will be the god emperor forever, and like most of them died. Not just like of natural causes while they were being emperor. Many by assassination, some by themselves. So you know, honestly, there's lots of like cartoony villain things like that too, where to me at least it's kind of like, you know, they're all like good, this, that, the other thing, and it's like, what's the point? What's after that? Okay, what you are proposing right now, pretty big, it would be pretty big news for like the entire world, right? Walk me through the immediate like month following your success in that. What are you doing at that point? You know, everyone points out that the Joker's kind of overrated and all this, the other thing, and like they're not wrong. Conversely, though, he is just kind of in it for chaos's sake, and that means he doesn't really have to worry too much about the actual aftermath. Yeah, as long as it happens, he'll be happy. So, ugh. My schedule's kind of wonky this week, which is what I was talking about when referring to not having a great weekend and then, you know, work not helping with that. But conversely, I do go in a little later tomorrow, so hopefully that bit of extra sleep helps. And you know, even if things get crazy during my shift, I'll be okay to power through the day, do stream when I get home, etc., etc. Ugh. Circles are hard. 1, 2, 3, a circle. We should go. What if I went this way? I gotta erase some of that. In this one, like, Delta and chat I'm in, a couple folks, myself included, floated the idea that we might be in for a winter release of Chapter 6, like December, January, that kind of thing. And the reason they didn't say anything at the end of the chapter, because if you seen any Deltarune trivia for Chapter 5, you know, they had the code to put a year at the end of it like they did for 4, and then they didn't. But, like, the idea is not that they're like, it might be 2028, but rather they're like, well, we might be trying for 2026, you know? That rather than necessarily being like worry about committing to it and not and getting it done later, they might be like, we might be trying to get this done earlier. They're like, we don't want to commit to 2026, but we would like that to be the case. 2077, oh no. But yeah, so that's me. I rarely do like copium, you know. I really huff the like the please Lord let this happen stuff. I try to be realistic and just go with the flow, but Deltarune, you know, winter release for Chapter 6, I'd be wildly happy. And then we'd see about, even if that happens, I'd have to imagine Chapter 7 being like end of 2027, 2028. Like, not too soon, not really soon after Chapter 6. If Chapter 6 takes long enough, then I assume they're kind of doing both. But if Chapter 6 comes out fast enough, then I will assume that Chapter 7 is only so far into its own development. But yeah, honestly, I got decent amount of indie games I'm looking for. In between streams, I found the trail. Well, it's because freaking Nintendo themselves put it out for the Switch 2 release. But it's an indie game called Dusk Fade, and it looks like some of the best parts of Kingdom Hearts, kind of stylistically and gameplay wise. So, granted, I don't think there's been too much music in the trailers. Definitely nothing that gives like simple and clean sort of vibes. I'm talking purely aesthetically here. If they got something rivaling like simple and clean and what have you, for this, then I mean that's the game for me, baby. I so often talk about where, like, if I had all the time in the world, I'd try out a bunch of like super long games I haven't gotten to play, right? If there was like a replay I was going to do with all the time in the world, it would be, you know, it would be like Kingdom Hearts. Easy peasy. Just lock myself in the room, start really bumping through those games. And if anyone tries to come in and make a joke about the plot or what have you, just I pull the lever and they drop into a crocodile pit. That's too harsh. They don't have to get eaten by crocodiles. I just need them to not do that until I'm done. Until I'm done re-experiencing the games without that specific brand of humor in my ear. Honestly, I don't even think it's a case of like, oh, it ruined Kingdom Hearts for me. For me, it's more about like, you know, let's say I'm like doing it on, I'm playing through Kingdom Hearts again on my spare time, right? So like, obviously I'm still like hanging with friends and talking to people online, yada yada yada. If I'm doing that, and like that's like the main thing I'm doing, and I talk about it, and just every conversation becomes those jokes, I'll go crazy. So meanwhile, if I'm like, you know, sitting down and it's like, well, all my writing and comic deadlines are done, time to play Kingdom Hearts 1 for 24 hours straight, and then I beat the game in one sitting. And like didn't talk to anyone, just went right through it, had a great time, etc, etc. I don't gotta worry about that, you know. I did it too quick. They weren't able to catch me. So this might sound insane to some people, I apologize. It's a very niche, very niche problem and scenario I'm devising for myself, but also like part of it is like Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm sorry Kingdom Hearts 4 believers. I'm not getting it. Like when I found Kingdom Hearts, it was like well in between 2 and 3, right? Like it was even a little after Dream Drop Distance came out, so like that was pretty late into that part of the franchise, right? That history of the franchise. But like I was still like, you know, I was a Disney kid. Parents had me growing up on like the classics and the Renaissance, all that kind of stuff. So like it's like, oh my gosh, cool looking video game with Mickey and weird anime people. Hell yeah, sign me up. Nowadays Disney ain't shit. And if I want anime, I can go find like a standalone series I enjoy much more. I would love for, I've said this before, I'd love for like the whole Kingdom Hearts cast to be like a reboot, where maybe it's just Final Fantasy Worlds, or maybe it's a standalone thing, but just, you know, in general, now divorced from the Kingdom Hearts. I mean, not the Kingdom Hearts. That would be that. It is still Kingdom Hearts from the Disney part of it. That I would see, but continuing on, when I can already tell Disney was kind of messing with it in 3, I'm okay. So, and after, like, you know, the guy that the series is building up as the villain for literally like almost 2 decades, like, he's gone now. They're like, up a new thing. It's like, no. No. Disney does not have enough of my attention to make me go through that again. A continued version. Meanwhile, I'm like, speaking of Squeenix crossovers, I'm definitely, of some of the few non-indie games I'm like wishlisting right now, FF Resonance is one of the big ones, so there's proof enough that, like, I'm still down for the general vibes. Disney's ruining the vibes. You're scaring the host. Or, you know, I was talking about writing a fantasy book. Could you imagine, like, recorded interview with famed novelist and professor J.R.R. Tolkien, and he's like, "You're scaring the host." I wonder how that would change some people's opinions of him. I don't know. I mean, if it's not like, if he's saying it specifically in the meme sense and not literally referring to people like that, then to me it still seemed pretty chill. Lord of the Rings is interesting when you look at it through the context, through the lens of epic rap battles of history. I was just saying that because they had that whole thing where it's like, you know, and I mean, like, you could just be like, no, that's like a literary thing, you know, like George R. Martin versus Tolkien. Martin trying to do like a gritty subversion of the fantasy tropes, well, as found in the likes of Lord of the Rings. And at the end of the day, Lord of the Rings, I mean, it is very much fantasy. It's where a lot of people get their fantasy tropes from, but it is also not even wholly a thing about like good versus evil, good always wins. It's kind of about like, it's very much about kind of like nature and the nature of human beings, greed and what have you. You know, that's kind of in part why the ring is like how it is to begin with. Because basically every character in the book, given a long enough span of time, does succumb to the ring, because, you know, everyone's good, and like, no one's like wholly good or wholly bad. And the point is to be like, anyone can be better and overcome that, and, you know, it may just take like little niceties to help save the world. You don't have to be a big hero the entire time. You just have to be a good person a few times. That's the thing, you know. That makes it like, that's kind of there's a line like about that in like The Hobbit, kind of, where Gandalf's talking about like, you know, on the quest for the Dwarves Mountain. He was like, yeah, you guys needed someone else to help you with this, and I was looking for like a hero, you know, someone who could kill the dragon, and they're just there's none around. There's just none. Don't think they're around anymore. So then I went for a hobbit. You know, like obviously most people would have been like, it'd be best if we had someone who could kill the dragon. But Gandalf was like, no, we just need a little guy. All this will take is a little dude. And stuff like that. Like, I was thinking about this also. It's like there's a lot of things. I talk a lot about how sometimes like subversions, especially sometimes like overused subversions for the sake of comedy, get on my nerves. And I never want to like police content, you know. If someone wants to make that, all power to them. I just won't enjoy it myself. But you know, it's completely understandable to be like, Cahill, aren't you tired of like this kind of thing, right? And I feel like depending on if it's something genuine like what I was just talking about with Lord of the Rings, then I kind of gotta be like, no, not really. You know, like, do I want a subversion on the idea that being a decent person can be enough to overcome great evil? No. No, actually, I think I'm okay. Like, I think I'm good on that. I think I'm good just kind of holding on to that message in earnesty and going forward, trying to implement it throughout my life. So, again, like, this is like what I'm saying about like not policing stuff. This is not me even trying to like critique George R. Martin or whatever. I like that. That's not even what I'm thinking about right now. I'm just saying, like, anyone who might assume that like Lord of the Rings is the boring vanilla fantasy book and Game of Thrones is inherently the more interesting version, like, that is not accurate. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who, like, you know, fantasy isn't really their thing a lot of the time, and they would describe like something like Game of Thrones, not even Game of Thrones itself, but just something like it, something in the fantasy genre, as Lord of the Rings, but just counting on that anyone has like cultural osmosis the like Lord of the Rings aesthetic and general vibe. I remember at one point someone described, I feel like someone tried to describe Stranger Things to me, being like, it's like Dungeons and Dragons. I think specifically they were going along the lines of like, it's a bunch of kids and they like Dungeons and Dragons, and then they kind of get like sucked into that. But like, is it that? It's not. That's not what it is at all. I don't. And at this point, it's kind of a sore subject with how it ended, but you know, I still think that's a misrepresentation. Yeah. I'm sure I talked about this on stream somewhat recently before, but thing I'm trying to do in fantasy at the moment is just is like, you know, I grew up in like the height of like the creature collection Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh kind of zeitgeist, and having gone back and seen the uncensored version of Yu-Gi-Oh with my good friend Stealth, it made me think about trying to use what I know as someone who has always loved stories to put that kind of idea into a more, you know, like a literary framework, basically. I don't want to say like more serious or more artsy or anything like that, because, you know, it's at the end of the day, I'm not trying to like disrespect the the shows I'm drawing inspiration from or anything, but I'm sure y'all get it. I'm sure people who worked on those shows would, like, plenty of them would be like, yeah, the mission was essentially to make trailers for the toys. long before we could consider making a good show. That's more what I'm talking about with that, you know. Like, obviously, I would call the whole endeavor more successful if I end up making a game people also want to play. I think for multiple reasons. Mostly, honestly, because if I do that, then that's not working like that. But if I do that, then I know the readers, like anyone who reads it, is engaged enough that they would be like, give it to me. You know, they're thinking about the possibilities in the situation I'm painting, which I think is great. But still, the goal in this case is good story first, possible real card game second. If it wasn't, I would still be testing the card game. But I'm not doing that because I want to make the book. Okay, that's better. But yeah. Also, like, you know, I feel like in a lot of fantasy, where the heroes are meant to try and represent the author's morals. I was drinking water, but my morals are drinking water. But you know, like, either the author has to, kind of like J.R.R. Tolkien with the Olks, make a army faction race that is completely 100% evil and totally unnatural, so that the mass slaughter of those beings can drive forward action and intrigue during the plot, right? Or alternatively, the author has to be kinda okay with murder a little bit. I'm not saying like George R. R. Martin is being like, yep, it's cool to do this. Like, not that at all. What I am saying is that, like, you know, in order to get a point across, he has to describe someone getting killed. Like, that's fine. I was like, you know what if card games, magical card games, raise the interesting idea and that I could have characters participating in something like a fight that not only carries a good level of intrigue and creativity, but also is largely a just non-violent affair, right? I don't have to have one of those situations where the hero's like, no, killing you would be wrong. They've killed like 10, like 20 people coming in here. Like, rather, they can just never kill anyone. Or they can, like me, Dylan Cahill, find murder just generally unfavorable. So, this is, I cannot stress enough, though, again, to be clear, for anyone not picking up on me joking, this is in no way me looking down on authors who were like, I want to have cool sword fights in my book, so some fictional person has to die. I'm just saying that if I would like a world where things can be largely settled in a non-violent manner. Oh my goodness, bring out the parrot, you got it, Stealth. But yeah, oh, hi, Stealth. How long have you heard me yapping about fantasy ideas?
Parrot.
I'm bringing out the parrot. I wish you would engage with me and not just use me for my parrots. Parrot. No, only parrots. Parrot.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Card games do not require any.
I'm not ready for engagement.
What's that?
I'm not ready for engagement.
Damn, that's wild. Because you not only did you join a Discord call, you joined a Discord call in a channel specifically about if someone's in here, they are probably live on Twitch or something in some capacity. So.
Oh fuck! I did.
Did I?
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that, but
I'll get over it.
No, oh, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad because that means you're here. Stealth, let me ask you a pretty softball question to get you started. Do you condone murder?
No.
Okay, cool. So would you say that no matter how charming or cool someone is, them just kind of generally using a medieval weapon to hack their way through strangers until they find a bad guy that they talk to for a bit before fighting and then also kill slightly more dramatically, like that at least in a realistic setting, that would not be condonable.
Yeah, unless you're the Yellow Flower from Deltarune.
Unless you're showing them but he doesn't kill people. He shows them his Girona. Oh, the other. That's confused, man. Okay, Stealth, let me ask you something, because this was a different thing that I got into, and they were like, so I need to not talk to like wider people on the internet, just like bigger chat rooms about Deltarune. No, I know. I meant wide. W-I-D-E. Anyway, but because like.
No, I heard that.
Oh, okay. I was afraid I came across another way.
Than, like... wide?
No, wider as in talking about crowd size mostly. Because I'm an antisocial guy. But.
No, probably too.
Yeah. I was like, there was like a couple times now it's been like, okay, I can't believe I'm explaining this and that we're even having this conversation. So I had one person I was talking to be like, we don't actually know if monsters in Deltarune turn to dust when they die. And I was like, there was a chapter about that. Anyway, but somewhat like one conversation I was having with strangers today was the only soul mode we have not seen in Deltarune yet, which is blue. And the question becomes, Stealth, do you think there will be 2 different blue soul modes, or do you think there's just the one? Because there are 2 different blues in Undertale and Deltarune. So
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
no, I don't want to wait. Daddy, I want it now. I want it now, Daddy.
No.
Okay.
Eat your peas.
What's that? What did you say to me?
Eat your peas.
Oh, okay. I thought you said eat your keys, and I was like, well, that's gonna be a hard. Like, I don't like peas, but they'd probably be easier to eat than.
That too.
What's
I
that?
don't care. I said you can eat that too. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Stealth, if we were out and about and you were getting hungry, and I pulled out a small cup of Gerber baby food, would you eat it with me?
No.
Okay.
Fuck no.
Why not?
That's foul.
You don't like the carrot flavor?
God no.
No. Is this bait? Now let me ask you this, because you had a much stronger reaction to this than I thought. Are you basing this answer on what you remember as a young child, or have you recently partaken in Gerber and are like, well, that's disgusting?
Childhood memory. Also remembering what it looks like and smells like. And no.
Well, that's one reason I always went for the carrot flavor when I was a little kid. So I thought that was more. I thought a bright orange was much, much more appealing than a dark green. So. So what would you do? Well, go yes.
Oh no, I just like I'm playing Persona 5 in the background. And I just like picked a dialogue option to calling someone a terrible actress, and that was the one that like got the music notes.
Yeah. Persona's a fun franchise. Anyway, so I was just gonna say, what would you do if we were out and about, and without asking you, I pulled out a cup of Gerber baby food and just started eating it.
I mean, if that's what you want to do with your life, man.
That's what you're doing, man. Like, you can do that. I made a mistake, Stealth. I made a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, the Gerber was probably the mistake.
It's probably
yeah.
probably not my brightest move. I don't know. It can still be healthy for you. You don't know.
I would much rather the V8.
The worst part about drinking V8 is that everyone thinks I mean like carrot or tomato juice when I'm basically drinking fruit punch all the time. So, because like that's V8's like I guess classic brand is tomato juice, and I fucking hate tomatoes. So, some people will be like, yeah, but you eat like pizza and stuff. First off, if a pizza has too much tomato sauce on it, I'm not eating the pizza. If a pizza has tomato chunks on it, I'm not eating the pizzas. So there are very specific scenarios I will eat tomatoes in, and none of them include drinking the tomato or eating it raw. So
The sauce.
the sauce. Like, yeah, tomato sauce is a little different, and I can tolerate it in small doses. Shocking as that might be. But spread out over a toasted bread with perhaps some cheese on. I mean, fucking cheese fixes a lot of things. Ask Stealth. He only eats broccoli with cheese on it, so.
I have a bad fucking feeling about this.
About cheese or about what you're doing in Persona?
Persona.
No.
Haru's dad is about to do a press conference.
Would it make you feel any better if I can tell you that Haru will be fine?
Yeah, honestly, a little bit, because like she's the only one that I care about in this scenario.
Okay, Haru will be fine.
Also,
Relatively.
I know who the fucker who killed him is.
Who's that, Self?
It's got to be Akechi, right?
I'm not telling you shit until you see stuff in the game, so I just was curious what your answer was.
I'm like 1000%.
I'm like so sure. Fucking okay, but Self, fucking. What if it's a guy you've never seen before and maybe I've heard his name a couple times throughout the entire game? How would you feel about that?
Same answer I gave you of Deltarune.
That you would be underwhelmed, that you would not be happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so to be clear, I don't know if I've ever asked you this directly. You're with me when it comes to December holiday being the night, and that like that would not necessarily be a wholly gratifying answer.
I would be. I think I'd be more okay with it than you.
That's fair. I'm not. I won't even. I'll be disappointed. I won't be like, this game sucks, you know? I'll just be like, I could have done more of that, but.
Like, I think they've done at least a decent job with her, if she's in fact the knight, of like making her character sort of present in the narrative in a, like a haunting sort of way.
Gotcha.
But
so yeah, I think they've just, including chapter 5, and if I'm being honest, I'm expecting a night reveal next chapter. So the fact they just
think it's one of the holidays.
What's that?
So I do think it's one of the holidays.
I think Carol and Des. Well, I was about to say this, and I was like, fucking, if I say this, this leaves one person, because I was gonna be like, Carol, Des, Noel, not the night, not even on my list, and then I was like, well, that leaves one holiday left. So for me,
I think we're okay to talk theory crafting at this point.
I know you're like, Azriel cannot be the knight, but for me, it's either Azriel or Rudy. So I don't
know. That's a scenario where I think I would be genuinely unhappy with the answer.
What's that?
Azriel.
That's fair. I've fucking screamed at enough people being like, Azriel is not, Azriel is not Ralsei. Please, for the love of God, purchase a brain online. I'm sorry. I'm being a little mean about it right now. Because I lay out fucking, like, that thing I was talking about where I was like, I'll use what I know to try and make, like, a trading card story that's, like, really good and yada yada yada. I used that same effort to talk about why there's no way in hell Ralsei and Azriel are the same person in Deltarune, and then people respond to me being like, I saw a theory online, or they look the same. Like, that's what they say to me. It's fucking... I'm going to hurt you. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but also, I love storytelling. I think Toby Fox is a really good storyteller. Ralsei is one of my favorite characters in his currently ongoing narrative. It would be a massive letdown to me personally if this was true. Here are all the reasons it cannot be true, and then someone responds to me being like, yeah, but like, what if like they just look different in the dark world? That's something that was said to me. And then someone's like, it's not that deep, bro. And it's like, I need you to understand that, like, the only reason feel like I'm in a position where I can tell stories is because I see like I've always seen like patterns in movies and books and TV, and like it seems like everyone's just like, I didn't see that coming, and it's like, I saw that coming from like Act 1. Like, there's always going to be this, and like I would love to share that with people, and then I try to explain it.
They're like, nuh-uh. And then we'll get the fucking It's frustrating that chapter 6 and 7 aren't out right now, because fucking, of course, there's still like a 0.01% chance that's the case. I will actively call Toby Fox a bad writer if that's the case, but I don't think he's a bad writer, so. Also, I fully expect Azrael to look decently different from what anyone's expecting from, like, Undertale and stuff, you know? I mean, I've seen plenty of fan art where he's a big fluffy goat man, and I don't know if that's quite it, but I do imagine he's ruggeder, you know? Based on his father's genes, and I ain't talking pants. Asgore does wear jeans.
Why not?
Would you like to talk about Asgore's pants stealth?
No.
Okay.
But someone has to.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be someone else then, because I'm not doing it. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I'll ask Juice later.
Ask Juice to talk about Asgore's pants later?
Yeah.
Interesting. But anyway, yeah. I was saying all that with, like, George R. R. Martin and yada yada yada. Feel like, you know, not to say like I know better, and then I went hyper soapbox high horse on my Deltarune Ralsei rant, but like, listen, please, for the love of it. I mean, Toby put a thing, maybe I would be a little bit more chill, but Toby put a thing in the game where like a character goes, that's not a theory, you just think it looks cool. Like, he says that in the game. So, you know. Stealth, why do you think Ketchy's the Black Mask guy? Because it would look cool. Only evidence.
Hey, I think I'm right on this. Fuck you.
Okay, but is it based solely on that being like a cool thing, slash it would look cool?
No.
Okay, that was my point. That you don't base your argument on that.
Because I know that this fucker knows about the other worlds. I know that he understood Morgana.
When
at
did
the TV station.
I don't believe that for a second.
Morgana was the only one to fucking talk about pancakes. And he starts talking about pancakes?
I don't remember what you're talking about, so...
I know that, like, that he's the only, like, it was between, like, for me, it was between, like, him and Kasumi. And Kasumi just had her awakening, so it's not her. Also,
not to be... I don't know if this counts as spoilers or anything, but Kasumi was not in the original Persona, so... Persona 5. So...
Okay, well, even more so not her.
Definitely can't be her. She's a fourth dimensional anomaly.
I like her, though.
Yeah. Yeah, she's neat. I didn't do any of the extra stuff, but that's because I thought I was doing it and I'd be queued up for it, and then I was like, no, game's over. I was like, oops. And I was like, I don't feel like replaying. So I was like, I'll just play Persona 5 again. No problems. I'm okay with this. Yeah, I still did stuff with her and, you know, talked to her and what have you, but I just didn't get to the point where it's like trigger extra post-game content. Game start.
Also, I just think he's a massive hypocrite. Just like from my interactions with him.
Stealth, and I mean, I don't know if anyone. I don't think anyone's here to begin with, but like, you know, anyone who hasn't played Deltarune Chapter 5, we're going to talk about it for a bit. Sorry. Anyway, because I was going to say, Stealth, I don't think we talked about this. Would you agree with the statement that even though Flowery was being sincere with his, with a lot of what he said, his argument was still flawed in a lot of, like, I would say,
Yes.
okay.
I just want to make clear, because I don't know if I ever put this down into text, but like, if I was like, you're just valuing your own dark world above ours. It's like, well, Castletown's the only place where every Darkener can hang out. So if there's going to be one Dark Fountain, it should probably be that one. And then, etc., etc., etc. On top of the fact that, you know, his whole thing was making Asgore happy, which even if that was working, it wasn't. Like, that's not a healthy way to do that. So
Yeah, I mean, it was decidedly self-centered from his perspective too.
yeah. Oh, like I would even, and this is an interesting thing, and another reason I get heated about certain Susie fan art, because I would argue, even though there is a thing to be said about Susie using Dark Worlds as escapism to some degree, like her relationships with like Rouse and Lancer, like those are real things, right? So like, that's, for me, that's far closer to like found family than Susie just ignoring like the real world, right? Especially because she has like Chris and Noelle and school and yada yada yada. And like maybe there's a point where it would get unhealthy, but I don't think we're gonna reach that because we have 2 chapters left. So
Like, the same people who are like making that argument are the same people who like to print, like, say that the final decision in God, what's the Claire Obscura is an easy one, but because they're not viewing, like, actually
go
I
on.
probably shouldn't talk about that.
I was about to say, are you talking about Expedition 33, a game I haven't played?
Yeah.
You can say it. Can you say it in like conceptual terms without talking about the specific thing that's happening there, or?
I don't know.
I don't know if I have that ability, Cahill.
So I'd probably be better not.
Good enough. Yeah. I and like I couldn't tell you where this part's going. The Azrael Rouse thing, I'd be like, it's going this way because if it's not, then it's bad, right? Like I can say that confidently. I don't know where like the Dark World stuff in Susie arc is going, right? But I would still hope it's more than just like you can't stay like this forever, yada, like that kind of stuff. Because like to some degree, you know, there is something to be said about like life changes, da 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 da. But I would argue that
Also,
like
it'd be kind of weird for Toby Fox, noted whimsy man, to be like, whimsy, you age out of this.
yeah, exactly. And like also, it's not even like life changes as in this is Susie's status quo that she's gotten adjusted to as opposed to the real world, because this is new. Like Deltarune's been taking place over years, but in Susie's time frame, her like whole found family at this point is new to her. So like this is her life changing for the better, on top of the fact that in the light world, which you like, no matter how nihilistic you want to get about the whole game's thing, she has Kristen Noelle and even Toriel and stuff, you know, people who are
Burnley.
what's
Don't
that?
forget Burnley.
Don't forget Burnley. Yeah, but everyone questions about Burnley being around, so even though he is getting better. Burgley? I forget what point Queen does that, but it's fucking hilarious. Burgley? Like she responds to someone like that. Question mark.
Like, I'll even go as far as to say that he was legitimately cool during Chapter 5.
Yeah, I mean,
In his own way.
the start, I saw stuff about after the initial interaction. The initial interaction still grows me the hell out though, but I mean, you know, that's him. So like,
I mean,
there's nothing.
like the initial interaction, he was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He didn't get weird about it.
Crisscross applesauce. What was I thinking of? No, it's. I mean, like, so someone else online I know said it. It's like Queen said it best, which is like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just annoying. It's completely accurate.
And Queen, as we know, is eternally based.
Exactly. So, like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Do I have a picture of Queen with based on her visor?
I could make that, and I should make that. Anyway, I was literally being like, I need to work on more pixel art. But anyway, but this is what I'm saying, is like, I don't think the themes of Deltarune come down wholly to just like, Dark Worlds are pure escapism bad, for multiple reasons. Among the reasons among that is that as these events in the story have been unfolding, Susie's life in the light world has been actively getting better. So like, being like, nope, it all has to go away, that was bad, we'd be like, that would be weird. So again, we'll see. I could imagine Toby making an ending where it's like, yep, no more Dark Worlds, and that has to be okay in some way. I'll cry about it. Like, I could theoretically see him being able to pull that off, but even then, I still don't think it'll be as black and white as some people pointed out to be. So. Lord, I need to.
Okay, eyes and looking fucker.
I need to play.
Speaking of characters I don't trust.
Has Akechi entered the scene?
No.
Oh.
The fucking Maruki.
Let me see.
So
There-
he looks like Sosuke Aizen.
Oh, right. I was like, I don't remember the name of a lot of the Arcana, largely because there's a lot of them in Persona 5, but him definitely not. 'Cause I just remember him as like the doctor, 'cause derogatory.
I want to know what this fucker told me.
What's that?
I did his social link, completed his research with him, and then he's just like, I'll have to apologize to you for something later. I'm just like, what the fuck do you
That's
mean by that?
an awful thing
What
to
the
say.
fuck do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I would bother remembering his name when Takemi is also a doctor wearing a lab coat, and she's, you know, fucking
Oh yeah,
great.
she's based as hell.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she's...
I've maxed out her social link already.
Yeah, she's great. Okay, Stealth, you as a gay man have to choose one of the Persona girls as a romantic partner. Who do you choose?
Hifumi Togo.
Wait a minute. So yeah, I told you bad names. I feel like I didn't do a lot with her.
The Shogi girl?
Gotcha. Yeah, I did not do a lot of her social link when I was playing. I was largely focusing on like party members and stuff. I was thinking of. Okay, so you as a gay man have to pick any Persona 5 character to be romanceable. Who is it?
UI. For sure.
UI?
Dude is hot and for so hot.
Is that
for
the
what?
gun guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You did get to his first thing, and we're like, why is the gun seller so wildly hot?
For no reason.
For no reason. He's not romanceable. He's a shopkeep. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it doesn't help me, like, not talking about Deltarune. The fact that, you know, constantly listening to the soundtrack, so. I can't help it. It goes too hard. I was about to say, it's like, I need to, like, you know, get Persona 3 or something, a game self-played, in order to talk about that more. But here's the thing, I am playing other games behind the scenes. I just still talk about Deltarune a lot, so. I really liked, I mean, one of the reasons I'm so excited about Final Fantasy Resonance is like, just before it got announced, I finished not Persona 4, sorry, Stealth. I finished Final Fantasy 4, a game Stealth doesn't like, and I really liked it. So
I'm sorry.
Oh.
But so finishing another Final Fantasy I super liked, and then them being like, here's a game, it's like the Final Fantasy you just played. You can do classes, except some of the classes are just Final Fantasy characters. It looks pretty. Have a great time. I'm like, thank you. I'm more excited about this than basically anything else that was shown during that. Was that the same? I think that might have been the same direct as Chapter 5. So, but also that's the thing, right? Arguably, I think the thing that will make Deltarune in like the holiday season the hardest to like imagine or like make real is the fact that if that happens, then chances are they're going to try and put a Deltarune trailer in like the fall Nintendo Direct whenever that happens, which would mean there'd be Deltarune trailers back to back in Nintendo Directs, which has literally never happened before.
Cahill.
What's up?
Holiday Mansion, Dark World, and Christmas.
Yeah, fucking dude. Still, do you not think that's one of the main reasons I'm hoping it's during the holidays?
December.
Just like the girl. Yeah. I will say, I'll be more open to criticisms on Deltarune's writing if by the end of Chapter 6 we still don't know a lot. Just because it's like Chapter 7 is like things are going to happen. Like things have to start wrapping up. And if we don't know anything by then, it's like, well, Now wait a minute. So, I feel like we gotta at least find out who the knight is. Like that's the thing that's like gotta happen. Because otherwise, it's like fucking who are we fighting? What am I fighting for?
Friendship.
I mean that's fair. Stealth, would you be in a JRPG
The fate of the universe.
part? I mean that's boring. Stealth, would you be in a JRPG party with me?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. What class do you... Stealth, you are the party leader. What class of JRPG should I be?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you'd probably be our fighter.
Just... I feel like I'd be like almost the fighter subclass berserker. Where it's just like, okay, Cahill,
Yeah.
here's a large sharp weapon. Get in there, hurt someone. You got it, boss! On it, my man. Don't even sweat it an inch.
Yeah, I'm in Texas in the summer. I'm gonna be sweating inches regardless.
Okay, Stealth, I'm not going to just make this a fucking friend roleplay, but like, we're in a JRPG party, you're the leader, you've assigned me to be the fighter. What role have you assigned yourself?
I imagine I'd probably be some kind of caster.
I was also thinking Black Mage. In part,
Yeah,
go on.
I just do ludicrous damage, but also take ludicrous damage if I get hit.
Yeah, that works for you very well. Also, I feel like again that works out because I'd just be like, I'm going to go hit something, and you are back there min-maxing whatever spell sheet you have to make sure that the next spell hits too.
Oh, I have discovered the element of death.
I've discovered that you can mix death and fire magic.
Yes, please.
That sounds fun. It just insta-kills any enemy with the ice attribute? Okay. Yeah, I haven't had, like, since I've been busy, I haven't had a lot.
But still, what about your morals regarding murder?
I already said that wasn't a condemnation on my part for violence in fiction. I'm just saying that maybe I try to write fiction where murder is still a bad thing.
Did you catch the part where I said, but stealth?
But still, yes, no, I know. I was just the one who brought up the argument.
Were you going to talk about condoning murder when you got in here earlier?
No.
Okay, well then, there you go. I was just
Because
Oh! I was just thinking of something. It slipped my mind. Alright, I need to play more Final Fantasy V. I haven't gotten to a lot because, you know, like I said, I was busy. Stealth, I do think you should play it. I mean, there's not a Persona 6 yet, so maybe after that if you want another JRPG. But, like...
Metaphor Fantasia is probably going to be my
That's
next JRPG.
Completely fair. I just... Because you like... Did you also like
I'm
Final
just going
Fantasy?
on kind of like an Atlas sweep right now.
That's fair. No, I mean, I'm the same way. I was going to play my way through Metroids again, just because technically I've never played Fusion. But then I was like, I like Kirby. So I was like, while I'm playing other new games, I want to replay Kirby's. Anyway, but like, did you like Final Fantasy 3, right, Stealth?
I loved Final Fantasy 3.
Okay, yeah, I didn't believe this when I heard it. Final Fantasy V is just kind of like better Final Fantasy 3. It had, like, my favorite character is Ferris, and like I can say that because Final Fantasy 3 doesn't have as many like characters. I would argue. Meanwhile, in 5, you pick a class. You get the classes pretty quick, and then you level them up, gaining attributes from that class, which you then can switch over to other classes once you have them. So you can master the class getting... Let me finish, because let me tell you about the cool thing I did. You can master the class, gain all its attributes, switch to another class. Then you can take one of the attributes from that mastered class into the new class and like swap them out at any time in between battles. Just swap out whatever abilities you want. I was playing, and I went from having my main guy be a monk to what's called a spell sword, right? Which is where you imbue like spells into whatever damage you're doing. And specifically, it's like into your weapon, right? But the monk has an ability called Free Hand It, which means you do as much damage and more as a monk would when you don't have weapons in your hands as any class. So what I was...
Can you channel elements into your fist?
Yes! You just call down lightning into your hands and start punching the monsters! And I did that against a boss and I beat it! And I was like, okay, this game is peak actually. This might be one of the better games I've ever played. Also, they do have a...
You became that guy that lost to Genshin.
What's that? Oh,
I said you
the
became
Avatar.
that guy that lost to Genshin.
I should have watched that, just because I don't... Even though Aang lost... Usually when I don't watch a death battle, it's either because I have no interest in either party, or I'm worried about getting spoiled on something I haven't watched yet, and I don't care about Genshin, so... Watch at least some of it. What was I just thinking of? Death battle's fun. I've been saying this though, so... I have disagreed with a few death battles, but...
I think the reasoning is there for this one.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like a lot, like, you can always if and and but... I don't like it, but it makes sense. You can always if and but a death battle, but largely, unless you're like, I'm a mathematician and like the math they did is complete nonsense, then I think for the most part, and I've never seen
it's
anyone...
not even a math one this time.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone do that. Usually, typically what it comes down is more to just like raw like ability and stuff. Just like, it's like, no, I disagree that it would happen this way, yada 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 yada. That was me with Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. I just generally don't think a green, like, well, I know Kyle Rayner's on some shit, and I haven't watched that one either, just stealth sadness. But like,
you know my most hated one.
Yeah, what? I don't think I remember it. What is it?
Yang versus Tifa. Tifa should have destroyed her.
Destroy?
Like, not close.
Oh. I'm sorry. This is probably why I don't remember it, because you know my biases. And I love Tifa. But I was just gonna say for mine with the I mean, like, I know I can figure your reasoning with Tifa because, you know, looks at Final Fantasy VII. But conversely, for Hal Jordan versus Ben 10, I'm like, I get Hal Jordan is like the best Green Lantern, basically, with like one of the caveats being that, like, you know, Kyle Rayner is the White Lantern, etc., etc. But I think it would take him, you know, any amount of time to build up the strength to, like, you know, erase Ben from existence. And meanwhile, Ben can just, like, hit a button and it is Alien X. So, and, like, I mean, there's a lot of, like, feats to pull from comics. I'm just saying, Ben's just pretty strong. And if we're going, and, like, there have been times in main canon where, like, he just gets Alien X. Like, usually the caveat is that when Ben pulls out Alien X, he has to, like, do a whole debate with two cosmic entities. But they're, by the end of the main run of, like, 4 different shows, there were a couple of fights where Ben just got to use Alien X, no strings attached. And if we're going with that kind of logic here, that Ben is at full performance, then I think that just happens. So, but that's me.
The council has determined that Hal is a stupid name.
I mean,
We will now be using the full force of
Hey,
the universe against him.
Stealth, do you know, how much do you know about Hal Jordan in comics?
Not very much, I'm being
Okay,
honest.
I'm going to be honest with you. There are legitimate reasons to exist him to erase him from the universe. So,
Oh.
yeah.
I mean, I already gave one, but
Yeah.
go off.
He dated an alien miner. So,
Oh.
yeah. Then there was a time he killed the entire
And
Green.
also, you, Hal, like, pick a struggle.
Was that also was named Hal? Hey, this is Otacon. Well, I guess his name is Otacon, so.
Yeah, and it ought to stay that way.
Ah, that was a good one. I gotta give it to you words too. That was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, there's that. There's the fact that he killed the entire Green Lantern Corps at one point, etc., etc., etc. He had a rough run in the comics at a certain point. The writers, I guess, just weren't chill.
I like Kyle better.
That's fair.
And also, like, their battle was, like, really fucking cool.
I was thinking,
Kyle and Simon.
I know, I need to, like,
It made me feel things.
Lord, we'll see this weekend if I'm able to, like, pop in a DVD of mine and watch some stuff, because, like, I just got too much where it's like, I should watch this, I should watch that. And, like, I feel, to some degree, and for multiple reasons, I feel it should start with some of the boxes of DVDs I have behind me at this current moment. So, like, I need to get on that so I can get into watching just whatever. I'll just, you know what? I'll just watch. I will, since I clearly, there have been plenty of times where I look up the synopsis to an entire series, and
Wasn't the Mad Hatter?
for me or for Persona?
That Futaba's literally just out here dressed as, like, the Mad Hatter.
Oh, hell yeah.
When we're at Disney World. Or Disneyland, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I remember. Yes. I just remember that as them all wearing hats.
Yeah, but it's very clear that she's supposed
Futaba
to be,
is
like,
the
Mad
Mad
Hatter.
Hatter.
It's like the way that she's sitting and just, like, the top hat and rabbit ears and stuff like that. It's very clearly.
well, that's because she's cool like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, when I have on top of other series I need to watch, I will just watch the Hal Jordan and Simone death battle in its entirety before I watch Gurren Lagann, just because, like, I've watched, like, the first batch of episodes, and I would like to finish it, but since that's clearly going to take a while, I should just do my friend Stealth a favor and be like, I'm going to watch it, and then be like, Stealth, it's good. Stealth, why can't I just watch all the series I ever want to watch? And just...
There's no time.
Well, that's why I'm trying to write a book, man. Lord. I was gonna ask you for like affirmation shit, but I mean, honestly, I don't need to put that on you. And also, I'm like streaming right now, so...
Affirmation.
I wasn't gonna, because I was gonna be like, Stealth, do you think my book will do good? First off, you have no idea what it's like, other than card games. And second off, it's like, you know, are you gonna say no? It's like, you can, but also, conversely, that's...
Like the shoe.
I believe in it. Listen, I was letting this out to my dad the other day, right? Just because we were catching up. If I like pitch my book to like Scholastic, right? Do you know what will get a kid to buy a book at a book fair? If it comes with a little pack of cards with it. Literally any child will do that. So, am I wrong?
I was watching the rabbit fly away.
Oh. Cahill. Stealth, have you kept a Jack Frost on your team this entire time?
Oh, no. No, I have not.
Why not?
Like, I've been doing what I did with the other games. I'm just, like, trying to fuse whenever I can and make interesting stuff.
That's fair. Do you have Persona in Persona, the 3 games you played thus far, that you like the most, or?
I really liked Odin a lot.
Odin?
Yeah.
Fair. Odin's pretty cool. He's got a 6-legged horse and 1 eye, so... You should have saved some legs for his eyes. Does he have a
I also like my Psychic Tandem War Elephant.
Oh, fuck yeah. Lord, I was reading... Speaking of trying to catch up on series, I was reading some of the Yu-Gi-Oh manga at work today. Stealth, do you know about the card Flying Elephant, or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember that was in the duel with Pegasus? Well,
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
the key... Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't pick that up when we watched it, the anime. So... That's a funny card. I don't know if it's a useful... Let me see Flying Elephant stats real quick. Yu-Gi-Oh! Flying Elephant. I mean, honestly, actually, all things considered, like, its attack is not bad for a 4-star. So, you could, like, if you were like, I need a wind attribute monster in my deck, you could just throw Flying Elephant in there and be like, maybe. You never know. You never know, Stealth. That's also kind of what I'm trying to do with my card game, you know? It's like... Make it to that you don't need to have your entire deck be one archetype. You can have some fun with it, you know. Dinner.
Dinner?
Stealth, where's Gekomon? Is he safe?
Not right now.
That figures. He lives in garbage under a fucking oligarchy, so... Like... Yeah. Yeah, I need to see if I can, at some point, get all of Digimon Beat Break, because I have all of Tamers now. And I'd say if I'm gonna have more than one Digimon series, definitely probably Beat Break. So just look at Gekkomon. I dare you to look at Gekkomon.
Okay. I looked at them.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
That's what I fucking thought. He is in fact a source of joy. This cannot be denied. Lord, when I was reading some of the manga, Time Wizard popped up again, which you already know I'm always happy about. It was, however, also the one time Joey fails a Time Wizard save, so then he disappeared. Goodbye. So after playing a lot of Persona, do you have any excitement for Persona 6?
I know next to nothing about it.
I think there's next to nothing to know about it.
So then, I mean, that's about my level of excitement. Once I know more, I think they showed off what the MC looks like, and
Did they?
They look funny.
They look funny. Well, I don't know. How cool are Persona protagonists supposed to look, really? I guess they kind of look cool. Fucking what? Who's the guy? Who's Persona 4 guy? What's his default name?
You? I think it's you, like you Narukami or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, he looks like a nerd. So, sorry, it's true.
I mean, I think Makoto looks cool. Ren looks okay.
Makoto looks better than you does. He does, however, also look like he shops at Hot Topic. I think Ren looks arguably the best out of the three of them. So
I would I mean, I would flip flop those two, but
that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. I think I talked about this on stream at one point before, but one of our dear friends was like, I don't know how much can I relate to Persona now that I myself am not in school. And I'll be like, I don't know, man. To some degree, I feel like Persona is just about society sucking, and that's ageless. So. Persona points at a thing and is like, hey, doesn't this suck? And I'm like, yeah, it does. Now that you mention it. I would ask if you have a favorite particular Persona villain so far, Stealth, but I imagine that would start getting into the spoiler territories for 4 or 5, unless there's like, you know, kind of less consequential villains for different parts of the dungeons.
Oh, it'd definitely be a spoiler, but I do have a question.
That's fair. Is it in Persona 4 or 3?
Persona 4 Golden.
Gotcha. Gold on these nuts. I'm in pain.
And like an amount that goes into it is me feeling smart for having called it.
That's fair.
But which it's entirely possible that it was like 100% easily readable from the very beginning.
I think it depends. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, with kind of like, you know, I don't know. Like when I was talking about like recognizing patterns in shows and movies and da 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 da. Like that's kind of part of it, where it's like you see someone and you're like, hey, this character does not feel as committed to the just general mission and group as the others. Like they're nice, there's nothing wrong with them, but they don't feel like as like just important or, you know, overall vital as the others do. And the fact that that's their only issue and everything else about them is great and everyone likes them makes me think that they will be a traitor sooner rather than later.
Man,
Go on.
Makoto's sisters are so stupid.
She's like a little stupid. In what way is Makoto's sister stupid, Stealth?
She's the type of person who's like walking backwards from her conclusion always. So she's looking for things to support that conclusion.
That's what I'm saying with the fucking Rousey thing. I don't mean to bring it back to this, but that's exactly what I mean, where they're like, this is the theory, and the evidence is this stuff specifically. And I'm like, that's not how this works! I mean, I think that's, you know, she is, to a large degree, like, she's a great example of kind of what the themes of the whole game is about. I wouldn't even say she's like a bad person, but she's just so entrenched in like the day-to-day, you know, just like systems and what have you, that she will follow that to disastrous cause. Such as assuming the group her sister is a part of is evil. Stealth, if I was part of a gang of thieves who seemed to be on some Robin Hood shit, but were definitely breaking the law, and you found out I was a part of this gang of thieves, would you report me to the police?
I didn't find out anything.
You're a good friend, Stealth. Stealth, if I had a fursuit, would you call the police?
No.
Okay. Even if I just kind of had it standing on a mannequin somewhere unsettling in the house.
Okay, that's illegal. That's fucking more. That's daunting. Don't do that. Like, you're gonna give someone a heart attack with that.
Lord, I know you don't really do VTuber Stealth, but like I saw Iron Mouse talking to Iron Mouse Stealth, the very popular Latina VTuber who has immune deficiency disorder, so she's largely been trapped in her house for a long time. She talked about quality fursuits and how if she could go out she would get one, and I'm just thinking about how I know part of her content is just how many cinnamon roll plushies she has, and I'm like, you do not need like a human sized fursuit on top of that. That would be, oh my gosh. You know, I was gonna say how it's probably good I'm not a furry, just because whenever I make a character, I like to make stories with them. But some furries do that, so I guess I have. That's the end of that thought. That's just the thing that happens. Much love, furries. That's the end of that sentence, actually. No bit there. I'm trying to think. There's parts of the end of Persona 5 where I'm like, what happens now?
I will say, I do really like the second to last dungeon. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you which one that is, so. Just know it's the second to last one. Oh.
Igor, you got some explaining to do.
Igor's got explaining to do?
Yeah.
What does he have to explain for himself? So he's just an old guy. He's just a normal old guy. Give him some slack, you know?
What do you mean, who knows? Fuck you.
Now you are suspicious. Whole thing.
The malicious will of another. Yeah, you, not tell me shit right now.
I will hold you in contempt. Stealth. Stealth. Can a prisoner hold a warden in contempt of court?
No.
Why not? Stealth, can you hold a warden in contempt of court?
No, that's not my province.
Oh, yeah, that's a judge. That is the judge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn bit. Stealth, can a judge give me a high five, a crisp high five?
Yeah.
Hell
if
yeah.
I want to. It would seem our approval rating has gone down.
Shocker. It's almost as like a plot has been engineered against you. Little to your knowledge.
Ingen.
Yeah.
Button. You said engine, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure. Engine from Crash Bandicoot 2? So what would you do if you fused two personas in Persona 5 and Crash Bandicoot was the result?
I go, whoa!
Whoa! Whoa! Crash Bandicoot, when in just his like very classic default noises, is pretty Mickey Mouse adjacent, honestly. And I'm the only one brave enough to say this, so.
I like the Bandy Boo.
I like the Bandicoot too. I also like a lot of classic Mickey Mouse. So. I like the Cheese Rat. I'm the trash man. Hey, Stealth, I have a question. Let's say I am suspicious that a middle or high school student is getting up to something I am unaware of while they attend my school, right? Am I allowed to break their leg?
No, actually, you're not allowed to do that, Chief.
What if before I do it, I yell, Jim Smash?
It becomes funnier.
This is not allowed.
But no, you still cannot.
Yeah. I listen to anyone watching the VOD. I would like, oh, hi, Mallow. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice. No,
That was ages ago.
That was 20 minutes ago, which is kind of ages ago, but listen. Look, the fucking you noticed, apparently. Anyway. To anyone watching the VOD or who doesn't know,
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was supposed to read.
How was I supposed to know reading was fundamental, even?
I also didn't know I could. This is startling.
This is what happens when people don't stop by for a while. I'd be looking at like fucking Discord and what's it called in Deltarune OST. Anyway, yeah, me and Sel have been watching Code Lyoko, and recently there was an episode where one of the main kids tries to blackmail their gym teacher Jim. Yeah. Anyway, but they try to do that, and like normally I'd be like, well, that's pretty scummy. But also in a previous episode, Jim broke one of the kids' legs, and they don't remember that, and like he doesn't remember that because they time traveled afterwards. But I'm just saying, Jim has not always been on the up and up, so they can blackmail him like a little bit. Stealth, current thoughts on Code Lyoko?
We're in a weird spot on that. That's my current thoughts.
Do you remember the rest of the show very well, or?
Yeah, a decent amount. This is just like this is a very weird spot for it.
Gotcha. That's what I was asking. And I was like, do you foresee the weirdness continuing, or do you remember another side to it? But I will assume there is another side. Or else you just be like, now it's gonna get weird, Cahill, and I'd be like, okay.
So, if you had to keep one of the Code Lyoko monsters as a pet, which one would you keep?
The Skipazoa.
That's... And you said I should get arrested for hiding a fursuit in my house. Fucking... That's a criminal crime.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah, I just want an Eldritch being on security.
Fucking clearly. I would have to go with the cube. Fucking love the cubes. Cankerlots are close second though, because they do some funny stuff every now and then. Like when they go ice skating.
Just like someone comes into Burgle and they encounter the Skipazoa.
At night even, which is like, oh. Lori, could you imagine?
Like it stays completely dark until it's behind them and then illuminates.
Yeah. Could you imagine fucking like you have turned to a life of crime because things have gone awry for you, right? And you break into a house hoping to find some goods to pay for shit, and you turn down a hallway and you see what can only be described as a massive metal sphere at the end of the hallway, and you're just like, is this like some kind of Indiana Jones security? And then it opens to reveal a fleshy inside and an eye staring at you before blasting the house in twain. Because the person had a pet Megatang from Code Lyoko.
Man, that seems really counterproductive.
No, they just love their Megatank, and they're completely fine understanding that if they can't have their possessions, then no one can, so... That's part of why they love their pet Megatank. Like...
Oh.
What's up?
She no longer thinks I'm the murdering type.
That'd be good. And tell me, Stealth, what did happen that night?
We're about to find out.
I should probably do. I'll do the hands first. Or
Oh,
no. Guys, I found a glue. So, do you think things would be going better in Persona 5 if Flowery was helping you investigate?
glue.
Glue. Your adopted dad is my best friend. I don't think I sent it to you, Salt, but Paper Box House was selling Deltarune t-shirts, and I kind of wanted some of the tennis stuff, but he did have some Flowery merch, and one of it was just a shirt saying, "Your dad's my best friend." And I was like, Lord. Some of this stuff might get for himself.
Sotaro would hate Flowery. The
What's
more I
that?
think about it,
What's that?
Sotaro would hate Flowery.
Leave it to me. Fucks up the coffee.
Because like you know how he is about guys generally.
He's a girl
Flower would not
dad.
leave him alone.
We love to see it. Bump, bottom, bump, bump, bump.
Horrible things have happened to Haru, but at least Plant John is okay.
Yeah, Plant John! I don't know. If I remember correctly, Haru is really only so torn up about her dad's death. And, like, honestly, I can't even really blame her. It's not like she's not sad, but he was trying to sell her off. So, it's like, you know...
Like, how sad can you truly be about that when he was actively
threatening awful shit and constantly ignoring it, and he's actively absent, so I mean, really, has anything changed?
Trained to be kind.
Oh. So who's your favorite Phantom Thief so far? Forget if I asked this before.
Either Makoto or Futaba.
That's her. Honestly, I do love Makoto. Love a competent queen who also apparently is a biker woman. I just love the kind of girl who can kick my ass. I mean, actually just kill me. So let me ask you something. Do you think you could take Ryuji from Persona 5 in a fistfight?
Do I have to fight fair?
No.
Then yeah.
Okay.
Is the answer no if you have to fight fair?
Yeah, probably.
You're counting on tricking him?
Which I don't think would be that difficult to do.
No, that's kind of why I asked that, because, like, you know, there's lots of even without Persona shit, lots of competent people on the Phantom Thieves. Fucking Ryuji's kind of clumsy, so.
Yeah, and also I know an area to target that's easy to injure.
Damn.
What? It's true.
It's real. Stuff, did you see that trailer I put in the Discord that it was like Kingdom Hearts 2? Dusk Fade or no?
I haven't really looked at it that much.
That's fair. I was thinking about JRPGs and then I was thinking about Kingdom Hearts and I was like, alright, Dusk Fade. I mentioned that this stream. I think it looks neat. And you can't stop me from thinking it looks neat. You can't.
Do you know my favorite secret number or higher? I'll let you have. What?
Guess their favorite secret number.
I bet you can't. Alright. I think this is coming out good. We might just be able to finish this tomorrow. Oh wait. I gotta finish this one thing. Yeah, this has got a lot of like kind of goofy perspective shots in it, honestly, but I'd be trying to make my comics better. I don't know what you want me to tell you. What do you want me to tell you, Stealth, huh?
The weather.
It's probably gonna rain tomorrow, so there's that.
Oh.
I hope you were.
Remember your umbrella, everyone.
You heard it here. Yeah, that was a problem because I was gonna do some of that filming stuff I was talking about outside, but I mean, we'll see about that given that, like, you know, maybe raining like the entire week. So, regardless, I am going to leave. So, I think I'm going to raid ZYZX underscore because he is playing Marvel Rivals.
Oh, Glasses Man?
Yeah, Glasses Man. You know him. He does the funny Life Arrow stuff. And like I said, playing Rivals right now. I don't think with Life Arrow. Just looks like I Heart Justice, but Rivals is a fun game. Yeah. And, you know.
And his Phoenix Wright.
And his Captain's Americas. Which is, you know, like, who doesn't love going up the stairs to the top of the stairs? Don't do that in the raid message. If anyone's here and is doing a raid message, do not do top of the stairs. I'm sure they do enough. I think Life Arrow is there and he has a Deltarune PFP, which is funny. Anyway, I'll see everyone tomorrow, hopefully for more art and finishing this comic. Have a good one. Bye.